once. There we go. What customers will find when they purchase Allegro that the performance of network copy is improved 3x, making it now 50% faster than Windows NT. And in this demo, we're actually using over 80 megabytes per second, a megabit per second of the Ethernet network, the theoretical maximum. And Windows NT is using just over 60 megabits per second. So truly getting up to 50% faster in a lot of our demo tests. Steve, thank you.
Thank you, Phil. So, we're convinced that Allegro is going to be an incredibly hot release of Mac OS 8, and we're working very hard so that the quarter beginning about a year from now, we're going to be delivering Mac OS 10, which we think is going to be the most significant enhancement to the Mac OS since it was introduced in 1984. So that is our software strategy. And again, our developers really loved it at the developer conference. We're working with many of them on this, and we rolled out our product strategy on May 6th and a week later, and I think it was very well received. It wasn't one day later before we started hearing the next level in the hierarchy of skepticism, and that was, well, okay, so you've survived. Now you have a stable business. That's really great. You're making some profits. That's really good. Business is in control. That's wonderful. And you got a dynamite product strategy. You got to execute on it. But you guys have been executing pretty well. We'll give you that. But, you know, are you going to have the applications? And, of course, we anticipated this a year ago. And we've been working with a lot of developers in the last year. And it's amazing how many of our developers just hadn't been talked to, hadn't been listened to. And we've been doing tremendous amounts of that and really forging business partnerships with our developers, and it's been fantastic. But let me take you back to a year ago. A year ago, that was not the case. When I first got back to Apple, I called a lot of the big developers up, and they were just hopping mad at Apple. Hopping mad for having lost some market share, but even more hopping mad for not having paid any attention to them. And we knew we had to turn this around. And we started asking some of these developers to repartner and recommit to Apple, and so that we could together turn the situation around. And you know who the first one was? It was Microsoft. They said, we want the Mac to succeed. We've got a fantastic business selling Mac software. We think the Mac is great. We want the Mac to succeed. We want to partner with you. Our first developer partner, which we announced a year ago at Macworld. And I'm really pleased to tell you that despite the boos we received a year ago at Macworld, this partnership has blossomed. And it's done what every good partnership should aspire to do, which is to deliver great products to our mutual customers. And I'm very happy about this. And I think when Microsoft committed to the Mac, it helped a lot of the other developers get over whatever historical baggage and hurdles that they had and recommit to the Mac, and it's been fantastic. And so, in talking about applications, I want to kick this off for a few minutes by introducing Ben Waldman, who's the general manager of the Macintosh business unit at Microsoft. This is the second largest Mac developer outside of Apple. Ben?
I have to tell you, it's really exciting to be able to come to Macworld and be from Microsoft and actually get some applause. But I guess maybe that's what happens when you finally learn how to write some good Macintosh software. It was about a year ago at Macworld in Boston where Steve Jobs first announced a new partnership between Apple and Microsoft. And people were stunned. Actually, more than that, a lot of people booed. And to tell you the truth, I think if I'd been using Word 6 as long as some of those people, I would have booed too. But the thing is, we really meant it. And so for the past year, Apple and Microsoft have been working very closely together to bring out products like Microsoft Office 98 and Microsoft Internet Explorer 4.0, products that are not ports of Windows applications, but products built for the Macintosh from the ground up. based on feedback from our Macintosh customers, and this is my favorite part, products which have many innovations available first on the Macintosh and only in the Macintosh versions of our software. Steve first showed me the iMac sometime last year when I was visiting Apple on a trip down there. And when I looked at the machine, I thought about it, and actually the first thing I thought was, boy, these guys really are thinking different. And actually, seriously, I looked at the machine and I thought, what a great consumer platform. What a great machine for any user in the home or in education. And we knew that as Apple's partner, it was our job, our responsibility, to create some really innovative software to go along with this great new hardware from Apple. And so with Office 98, we made sure not to create some high-end product with some obscure features that only a small percentage of our users, would ever use. We spent over 80% of our effort working on features that every single user would use every single day to make Office 98 indispensable to all Macintosh users, whether they're using a G3 desktop, one of the fabulous new G3 portables, or, of course, the new iMac. And in fact, we thought that iMac and Office are such a great combination that today, Apple and Microsoft are announcing that every customer who buys an iMac and then buys a copy of Office 98 will be eligible to receive $100 back from Microsoft. Or for our education customers, actually, a free copy of Microsoft Encarta or Microsoft Bookshelf.